So here I am, and after I finish clicking my selfies, we are going to head to the Vatican City to see more ancient selfies or sculptures. I'll explain that later. So, yes, we're heading to the Vatican City today, the smallest country in the entire world. That's the Dome of St. Peter's Basilica, the church inside the Vatican City, a little independent nation state within the walls of Rome, the headquarters of Roman Catholic Church. And from the sacred, we're going to head to the Bohemian lanes of Trastevere. The Vatican City, along with being the home of Pope, the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church, is also important because it houses a lot of iconic works of art. Like this courtyard is called the Pinecone Courtyard, named after this sculpture. This is actually a fountain. If you go really close, apparently you can see the nozzles, but you can't, it's not allowed. When I was talking about selfies, this is what I meant. This is the bust of Romulus Augustus, and I'm paraphrasing my guide when I say, she said, sculptures are to Romans what selfies are to us. So that's that. And this is Sphere Inside a Sphere. I think that's what it's called. It's a modern piece of art gifted to the Pope by this artist called Arnoldo Pomodoro. And it's supposed to represent the inner and outer versions of ourselves that we carry around. And then there is this room full of sculptures and busts of different Roman rulers and other people and Greek gods and etc. I don't know if you've noticed that, actually you must have, that although the Vatican is the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church, it houses a lot of Roman and Greek art. Roman art majorly, but like representation of Greek goddesses and myths and such. That is because all this was commissioned during the Renaissance. And Renaissance was the rebirth of the ancient Greek and Roman art and culture, and everything came back into the center. तो इस वजह से you see so much representation of those times. Renaissance is a very important period of time for art, culture, philosophy, science, maths, cartography, everything in the Western world, because the approach was primarily humanistic and it saw a lot of growth during this time. Knowledge saw a lot of growth. It is a bridge between the ancient to the modern. What an interesting. That is Perseus holding Medusa's head, again, Greek myth. This is Lacan and his sons, also a very important piece of art. And this is the room that houses the bath of Nero. I don't know if you can see that little tub-like structure, and that is a statue of Hercules. And if you can see, the domes are again like the Pantheon. And now we'll head to these corridors again, full of such important art. इनको सब मिल गया है, इन्होंने सब जगह से सब कुछ मंगवा लिया है. Amazing. So this is the room of tapestries. It is full of really old tapestries maintained over time. Amazing stuff. And on the ceiling, what you see is not carved out. It's actually a painting, and that's why I've put like a slow picture, so that you can just look at and just appreciate how it's been made. What is with me and losing out words when I'm talking? And then we head to the room of maps. Like I said, it was an important time. Renaissance was an important time of cartography, because a lot of new trade routes were being discovered, trade routes, whatever, and lots of maps were made during this time, some of which are still relevant. And then we head to the Raphael rooms. Raphael, also a very important artist of during Renaissance. There are 4 rooms of Raphael in the Vatican Museum. However, I don't have many pictures. This piece is also by Raphael. Also, the very famous School of Athens is also in one of these rooms, but I don't have a picture because I was listening to my guide. I didn't know I will make a vlog in future. This is Van Gogh's version of the Pietà gifted to the Pope, and this is Rodin, Thinking Man. And this is the St. Peter's Square, and we've entered the St. Peter's Basilica. A lot of sculptures here we'll see by Bernini, again a very important figure from the time of Renaissance. In fact, the St. Peter's Square that you saw is, I think, believed to be designed by Bernini. And once again, yours truly has landed up in the church during the singing of hymns. So you must partake in this fortune. Yes, so let's resume talking about Bernini. St. Peter's Basilica, which was rebuilt during the time of Renaissance. Again, apparently the artistic design was the direction the artistic design was going to take. Bernini was very important in making those decisions. The baldachin, I don't know how to say it, baldachin, the throne of St. Peter, also by Bernini. So I have some recommendations for your day at the Vatican. First, wear something comfortable. Wear shoes, comfortable shoes, because a lot of walking will be done. And carry a bottle of water, because you can't buy a bottle of water anywhere. I couldn't see the Pieta and some other important structures because it was under maintenance. I went in 2024 and 2025. They were going to celebrate the Jubilee year, for which they had put a lot of things under maintenance. That's why I couldn't see the fountains of Piazza Navona. Remember in my last video, and if you haven't seen the video, please go see my day in Rome, day 1. It's a walking tour of Rome. A fun day I spent in Rome. So that was the Vatican, and I grabbed some lunch and I head to Trastevere. Okay, as I head to Trastevere, I have to tell you about this thing called aperitivo. I don't know how to say it. It's aperitivo, T-I-V-O. I don't know if it qualifies to be called a meal or not. It is this practice of having a drink with a snack in the evening. And as you see these bohemian lanes of Trastevere, the cobbled streets that you see, these are the lanes of Trastevere. A very lively neighborhood in Rome, and a perfect place to wind down in your evenings. And it became a part of my routine in Rome. I was there for 5 days, and every evening I would go here to grab something to eat and drink a glass of wine and just look at people. Also, if you're lucky, you'll chance upon street performers performing like you'll see in many cities of Rome. और बहुत ही अच्छी जगह है. तो मेरा ये दिन काफ़ी सही रहा, from the sacred to the bohemian. I should probably call this video that. We'll see when I get to that. So I had some bruschetta with a glass of red wine, and then walked the lanes of Trastevere. So apparently Trastevere translates to across the river or the other side of the river, and this is Tiber that flows through there. Did I hear some clapping? I hope you're clapping. So bus, I regret on this trip that I couldn't see Pieta and some other really important sculptures and pieces of art because everything was under maintenance. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I had a really good time. What you don't see in this video is the Sistine Chapel, क्योंकि वहाँ पे फ़ोन निकालना, फ़ोटो खींचना अलाउड नहीं था. The ceiling of Sistine Chapel, of course, Michelangelo's most famous and important work, is amazing. You have to visit to know it. You will spend a lot of time looking up, hurting your neck, but what fun. Everything really, really worth it. Really, really worth it. Zyada hi. Anyway. So I head back, and on the bus ride, I got a beautiful sunset. And I caught a sunset through the Colosseum. You will get it once you see it. Oh my god. Also, very soon I'll share my trip to the Colosseum. What an amazing experience. Matlab, I really recommend, if you go to a city, please do this touristy stuff. I really recommend it. Please, I'm pushing you to do it. Please see the Colosseum, see the Vatican, and there are lots of little and really big things to see in Rome. And I'll share some of it with you. Can't wait to go back and see more of Rome. And then I met this distinguished cat. Professor McGonagall much. Had some pizza, watched the moon, and said good night.
Adios.